Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. Here.
We're still choosing the name, so I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It's between
that's
two
right.
names right now.
Yeah, we're having some serious elections here, guys. Okay, it's even more important than the presidential elections.
I know, yeah. No, I asked people, and it's so hard because one of them gets more votes, but
Yeah.
then the other one is like, it's getting votes by better people. So I'm like, which one do you
But
choose?
what is better people,
That's
Maral?
true, you're right. Yeah,
why am I
I'm
being
getting so judgmental.
No. What she means, I think, is that there are two different audiences.
Right.
That they each choose different kind of names that
Yeah.
actually determine these names are kind of similar but different in their tone and theme. So it's going to determine the podcast.
I feel like it's
actually.
a huge decision because then
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know, because what if then later we change like what we talk about and it doesn't match the name? And
Right.
do you want to mention what names there are? Maybe this will help.
Oh,
choose.
yeah, actually, guys, let us know which one you like more. There's Plot Pals, the Plot Pals.
Plot pals. It's like we're talking about plot
Yeah.
and we're pals,
Yeah.
and it's like a
Plot
PP situation.
Yeah, it's very easy to say.
Plot pals.
Two pals talking about plots of movies, or stories,
Mhm.
novels, whatever that
Yeah.
you like.
And our life is a plot too, so I feel like it
Right.
matches pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one is, well, there are some
Yeah.
variations.
There are very okay. So the original is write reel, and write as in like write, and then reel as in film. So it's one of those that are like you say it sounds different than it actually is, and that's what it could confuse people. We're like write reel, and then somebody's trying to type to look for it, and they just can't.
Oh, that too.
So there's all these problems, and then the variations we had were like real writers, as in like real film reel.
REEL.
Right? But then it just sounded like we're saying like, hello, we're real writers.
We're real guys.
We're not
Believe
lying.
us. Come on.
That's right. So I know, it didn't work that well, but I still I feel like there's something
Yeah.
there.
I
Right,
see
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Writers
for
real.
sure. Writers
Real writing.
The real talkers.
Real talkers, tale talkers. We went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But let us know which one you like more. Which one you feel comfortable and kind of relate to more.
Just like you would enjoy saying to someone, you wouldn't be
Yeah.
embarrassed to like. I don't know. Okay, we'll think
Yeah.
about it.
Right.
We're like slowly getting our footing down, and we put like some stuff that inspires us and stuff on the wall. I think it's looking quite good.
Yeah.
So
Let us
episode
know what you think of it.
yeah,
Some Beatles posters and all that. Maral is a big fan.
obsessed. I've listened to every song like thousands of times.
I'm
Do you ever get obsessed with like one song and keep listening over and over?
Oh yeah, and then I get sick of it after that and just don't listen to it
yeah,
at
that
all.
makes me feel gross. This happened to me like the other day with this song called Sprinter by Dave. I don't know if you heard it. It's like this British rap.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I listened to it like 30 million times yesterday.
Wow.
And then because it's like inspiring and motivating, and it's like, but I listened to it so many times that now I kind of like it almost makes me want to throw up, but it's so
Oh
good.
my goodness.
I don't know, don't do it that many times. I tried to be productive because
Okay.
all we did was talk about writing, and
We talked about it, guys. We were so productive.
and we even met after like going over our ideas and getting, and that was really helpful because
Yeah.
when you get somebody else's opinion on what you're doing, suddenly it changes everything.
That's
You're
true.
not in your head with like stuck with.
Exactly. Mostly because we always just encourage each other and we're really nice to each other, so we never
That's also true,
criticize.
yeah.
And that's why when even either of us has bad writing, we just don't say it to each other. And that really helps us to be very productive, I recommend it, actually.
I mean, even if being a little critical is not too bad, but yeah, I guess it'll take time. Because like, let's say we're both writing something that's not so good. There's no point in like both of us being like, that's bad and that's bad.
Right.
Maybe we just push each other forward to do better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it's really good, we're going to push each other, as you said, to do it actually and go for that idea.
That's true.
And if it's bad, we just don't talk about it anymore.
Exactly. You can kind of tell, like, if you say an idea that's not so interesting, Paris will be like, oh, that's cool. Are you thirsty? Or something like that. Just offers me food. Do you want to go eat? And then I'm like, okay, so this one, no. We're not
Oh
gonna do
my
it.
god.
Which is a great way to do it, actually.
I did it unconsciously. I didn't even know. Maybe you overthought it. I don't.
I do overthink a lot too. So,
But no, I like most of our ideas right now, like at this stage at least.
they're personal at least. So
Mhm.
I feel like that's the best you could do
Right.
is write something that is either something that happened to you or you saw happen to someone else,
Yeah.
or at least it's like your thoughts through another character. You know, it's got to be personal. Like my problem before was, okay, what idea do I write about? Do I write about an astronaut or like some big scientist trying to save the world and stuff? And then I realized, okay, what do I know about that? That's so uninteresting.
Yeah. It's all about the character. I too used to like mostly think about the setting and the plot and all that. And now I'm like, that just doesn't matter as much as the character, you know? It could be in the most boring town in the world,
Right.
but the character can be really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I actually read a story, a very short story by Stephen King, I think.
Oh, okay.
And it was online, just on a blog, and it was actually in a very boring town and really boring people, but the character kind of, or the people that interacted with the character were really kind of intriguing, interesting. They're funny sometimes, but there was like this mystery there, so.
Yeah, and was it a horror, this short story?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
horror kind of adds to any story. I feel like as long as the character is scared, then
Right.
you're with them. You're like, oh, I hope you stay safe and like
Yeah.
don't check in that room and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's a good point. Maybe we should write a horror movie next.
Oh
No?
no. I'm too delicate for that. Come on. I don't even watch horror movies at all, and I don't know even what the plot is about.
Wow,
You should know more than anybody else. One time I just walked out of a horror movie.
We went to a theater together,
Right.
and we were watching It when it just come out, like the clown movie.
Yeah,
It's not that scary. It's not.
It is.
It's not
Come
that
on, it was
scary.
crazy.
Kids movie.
Kids movie.
Oh yeah.
I was literally dying there with the sound. Oh my god!
Paris still got so overwhelmed. We just saw
I
like
just
she walked out.
closed my eyes and ran out of the theater. I was hoping I wouldn't trip myself down the stairs as I was going, and I just went to another theater and watched a comedy. Okay, a very kid-friendly comedy on the front row. You know, I just sneaked into one of the.
That's
other
good. At least you got your money's worth. You watched another movie.
Yeah. I guess.
Damn, I can't believe it. Must be something in your
Probably.
childhood or something where you just like you don't want to believe horror movies.
Probably.
You know, no pressure.
And if you didn't know, she's the real and I'm the writer, so.
Exactly, that's true. So we kind of like bring each other into the different worlds.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, I always get really mad when like Parsu says she hasn't seen this and that. But at the same time, she's read so many books that I haven't read. So it's not like I can complain that much.
Yeah, but she does say, like, have you seen this movie? And I sometimes, like, if I have time, I go and search it and watch it.
Yeah,
so.
you're right. Okay, actually, yeah.
But and I
You're
do
very
like
nice.
it. Oh. And
That's
it's
great.
good. Yeah. And right now, like before, if you would have said watch a movie, whatever, watching a movie, I would watch it. But right now, when you actually care about the plot, the story, the characters, you watch it more intensely. You like it more. You kind of understand the scenes and everything like that.
I feel like that's true with anything. As long as you have a little bit of knowledge of what goes into it, suddenly you have such bigger appreciation.
Exactly. You see like the behind the scenes of that. You kind of like imagine that. Whether before you were just an audience.
Yeah.
But now you see everything differently.
Yep.
So, which is really important because I've heard that right now, like around 2 months, there's no production actually for any TV shows, films, anything. Our favorite films and all that. And I'm so mad because I wanted to watch Fast and Furious.
Did you? What the fuck? You don't watch any movies, but you wanted to watch
Fast and Furious 20. But they didn't make it. Come on now.
That's interesting. Yeah, because industry is going through like big changes right now.
We were talking about it the other day that I was actually shocked at how much writers actually control the movies, the directing and all that.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
we were talking about it, and although like director is the one that has the final say and the actors kind of interpret the characters or the lines,
Yeah.
but I mean, at the end of the day, it's the writers that kind of like fill the outlines and kind of sketch it out, you know,
sure.
the rough thing,
Mm-hmm.
or even the finer, you know, kind of work on that. So writers, and especially like in screenplay and screenwriting and all that, it's so much more even detail that writers put in.
I know, because I feel like, okay, if you were to think of like a family and the kid is the artwork,
Yeah.
the mom is definitely the writer that like births this kid,
Oh wow.
right? And then the dad is like the other crew members, like they help raise this kid, sure, they have
Uh-huh.
their DNA in it, but like without the mom, there would be no kid.
Wow.
So I feel like, and then maybe the editor is like a teacher or something, like it definitely shapes you later,
Mm-hmm.
because editing is also important.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Mm.
Exactly. And what was really interesting was that writers actually determine how the scene should look like, how the actors should look like in a shot, like if their back should be to the camera or they should like
they
where
do.
they should stand. I didn't know that.
That's like a little bit more iffy because like some writers do it, some don't.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like very much the visual language is first based on what the writer says,
Right.
and then like maybe changes a bit. But
Mm-hmm.
that's so crazy.
It is so good, and that's why like they should really appreciate it. I was so shocked that they don't pay them as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all about the writing.
Yeah, well, I saw a tweet the other day. It was like this person was getting residuals for a TV show that they wrote, where it's like
Uh-huh.
whenever it plays, you get a little bit of money for what you like made
Like a
already,
commission
right?
or
Yeah,
something?
like a commission. I think yeah, it's kind of like royalties. Like imagine a song
Uh-huh.
plays, you get like a few dollars or whatever.
Right.
Apparently, they were getting like 2 cents per episode.
Oh my god!
2 cents? What? That will take you like 10 years to like buy an ice cream or something. That's so little for your work.
What?
Writing an episode of a TV show that was made, 2
That's
cents? How could you even
crazy.
do that?
And the TV shows are just so interesting, like with the jokes and all that. It has to be
Yeah.
entertaining every second. Oh my goodness!
Like, I
that's
don't know if it was 2 cents a
crazy.
week or 2 cents a month, or even if it's like
Whatever.
an hour. That's still
Just-
so bad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no way you can think of it. 2 cents is just.
It's nothing. You just throw it out instead of giving it to me.
Yeah.
It's, like, imagine getting a check for 2 cents. Are you retarded?
Oh
That's not a
my
good
God.
word to say, but
Oh
so
my
bad. It's
god!
really
I know we're really mad at them
mm.
because we're future writers. Come on, you can't do this.
That's
to us.
true.
Oh my god! I think our future is in stake with the AI and all that coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we should use it as a tool. I mean, it
For
helps us a
sure.
lot. At the end of the day, I feel like the idea
Mm.
is from a person. You know, for
Mm.
example, AI doesn't know the kind of like premise of a show or what it actually is about, like the tone, you know?
Right. Well, it doesn't know
try-
now, though. Could know later.
Yeah, it could really develop, right?
Because here's what I think. So, first of all, like, how do we learn to write? We kind of like experience some things in our life and want to talk about it,
Uh-huh.
or we watch other movies and books. So I feel like AI can do both of those. Like AI can analyze every single book ever written in a second, just have that knowledge, and then also if it becomes conscious, where it like
Oh
just
my god.
realizes like, oh, this is what a funny person says, and now I feel kind of bad and stuff like that. Easily they'll tell like good stories. So that's like, you can't even argue with that, sure.
Mhm.
But at the same time, just because AI is telling a story doesn't mean like your story is going to be invalid, because each
Right.
person's experience is still important. And like, still, I feel like art is the best place to be with AI developing.
That's true.
Right?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, art does help humans, mental health and all that. You know,
Yeah.
it kind of is a way of expressing and creating. So it's very valuable in its own. And like anything else, technology didn't change the value of handmade art.
True.
You know,
That's true.
like we were talking about it the other day. Like the handmade carpet is so much more
It's more
worth than the
expensive.
machinery
Yeah,
ones.
people look for it more than a machine made, which can
That's
be made
true.
so much easier instead of like months
Yeah.
of work.
Like for example, printed art doesn't have that
That's
much value
true.
as like a actually painted one.
You're right. That's a good point.
But it kind of, but the thing is that you have to there has to be like a watermark, is something that you can actually tell the difference that's the thing with the AI writing. You can't tell who is this a person that wrote it or not.
The more and more I realize, like with AI developing, what you are going to be selling is going to be yourself. Because like, what's the difference between my story and your story and this AI story? It's just our personalities, right? So it's like, okay, if somebody is interested in hearing what Parastu has to say, then they'll listen. It doesn't matter if the AI story is better.
Right.
So it's more and more about just making that like personable impression on
That's
somebody to
true.
want to listen to. Because I feel like, okay, this is what artists do, right? Like other people have jobs that either like help the environment or like help sell something to someone or like, I don't know, solve a problem. Artists are kind of like in the street shouting like, oh, listen to me, I thought of something really cool, kind of like philosophers. It's like, listen here, don't listen to that person, look at what I have come up
Pay
with.
attention to me.
Right.
Love me. Choose me.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick me.
Yeah, such pick me people. But the idea is like you're just shouting, waiting for your voice to be heard or like trying to get it heard.
Right.
So it's all about selling yourself as a person.
That's
to
true.
be a prostitute. Like not selling yourself sexually,
That was
but like
so good, yeah.
but just
That's
like
true, yeah.
it is all about that.
I mean, yeah, there was a time like when I was reading more about sales and I was interested in sales. One of the things that I thought about a lot and told a lot of people that asked me why I want to get into sales was that because at the end of the day or every day you sell yourself, you know? You sell your ideas to your friends, to your family. You sell, I don't know, you know, your something that you have a service or a product. You sell something at the end of the day. Even if you want to work at like a McDonald's or something, you sell yourself. Come on.
Yeah.
You have to go to the interview. You have to promote yourself. So it's really, it's a very good skill. And a lot of artists, as I said, like they don't get into the business aspect, which is like sales is a part of. So they may be really good artists, but they can't really promote themselves.
I know. That's the
bad.
biggest skill that like it's so important too. Like you can't say one is more important than the other because somebody could make like average art.
Yeah.
But if they're good at selling themselves, it will get out there way more than somebody who's just in their little corner, like never showing it to someone or being like, oh, here, take this. Because nobody wants to put time into your little thingy that you're doing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's all about the attention these days. I mean, even we are doing this, and it's because we want your attention. Pay attention to us. Pick me.
Yeah, exactly. Like the other day, or was it yesterday? I posted something to Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like so cool how like it says how many seconds somebody listens to it before they walk away, and like all these details, and you're like, whoa, I got somebody's attention for like 2 seconds, and then they're out, or like somebody listened for like 30 seconds. And
was that like
cool. That's the piano one.
It was on Instagram Reels, so a lot of strangers also can see it, right?
Yeah. Oh, such interesting stuff to think about.
The analytics have come really like detailed in Instagram.
I can't believe they're just giving that information for free. It's so useful for artists to perform for each other.
Exactly.
So how was your week other than what we discussed?
Yes, well, other than that, my lungs got burned by the fire there.
Right, what the fuck is going on?
I know. And I heard a ton of New Yorkers just complain and show us their aesthetic living, you know, in the orange filter kind of.
I know. Have you seen Blade Runner?
No.
Not to be annoying, but okay, that's another movie that's like futuristic, and it looks just like New York right now. Where it's like so smoky and the buildings are like black now. And
and I actually thought about it a lot and came up with a solution that I want to present for the fire.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, so the solution is that I personally tried that, and I have contributed a lot to putting out the fire. So I take a lot of oxygen, and the more oxygen I take, the less there is for the fire to spread out. So,
what? How scientific is this?
I know, right? And I actually recommend this officially to the government as well to do this. And they just go, the parliament and all of that just go in front of the fire and just take the oxygen in. So there is less for the fire to spread out.
I love that because also like the fire, the smoke is so bad for you. It's like smoking like 20 cigarettes like every second or whatever.
Yeah.
So then it will kill people
Mhm.
as well, bring down the population, like in two ways, help
Yeah.
the environment, right? So
That's
that's
true.
a really solid plan.
Yeah, and this is a good time for the smokers. I mean, they're like, okay, I made a good investment now. You see? I told you, you know? And those non-smokers are just gonna cough and die, you know, and
Bro,
all
you're
that.
right. Yeah, so what was the point of them like not smoking all the time?
Right, exactly.
That's genius.
And there are probably gonna be some, you know, some restrictions or like kind of compulsory smoking vaccinations. So you have to smoke like 100 in a room, so you could get like immune. Your lungs could get immune to that. And then if you don't smoke 100 for the first dose,
Right.
so you can't go anywhere. I'm sorry, we don't give any service to you.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
also
thought
another
about it like this.
recommendation to them.
Yeah, let's just like get our smoking tolerance up so that
Yeah.
if something like this happens, it doesn't bother us.
Right.
That's amazing. Lol.
Let's just. Yeah. Do you have any cigarettes? I remember one time she actually offered me.
I
Oh,
kept
don't-
forcing you to
But
smoke.
I just coughed it out. I just felt that was so
good
bad.
for you. Good for you.
Yeah. But
No, it's not
what
good.
about now?
No, I stopped smoking.
What do I
'cause-
do?
Well,
What do
you
I
want
do?
it? No. We're back. I took a break outside for a second.
Yeah.
It's very rainy.
Yeah.
So now I regret it.
Don't mind her hair. It's
Yeah.
just so.
It's just now it's drying up and it's gonna be frizzy and all that. But
Yeah,
such is
mine
life.
too. Yeah. So in this section, we're gonna talk about His Girl Friday, the movie that Maral picked. That we're gonna talk about the script, which is brilliant, by the way. It's just amazing. I loved it. She recommended for the first time to me, and I just binge watched it. It was great.
we were like, let's pick a really modern movie that just came out, like really relevant.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what about a movie from 1940? And then Parisa was like, sure, like she was very
That's
open to it. And I'm so happy that you watched the movie like as soon
Yeah.
as I told you. That's really amazing.
Oh no, it
'Cause-
was so good. I mean, I
Mm.
just watched it a little bit and it hooked me. I couldn't
Oh,
stop watching
mhm.
it.
But I'm proud of you because like people recommend things to me and I almost always don't watch them. That sucks. I know that sucks. But I don't know. When you do, you feel good about
I
it.
mean, it's more like if it's your taste, you go and watch it.
Mm.
If it's not, you're just not gonna do it.
Mhm.
It's about the main character is Hildy, which is a woman in her 30s or
I
something
think so, like 29 or something,
20,
probably.
Yeah. And she is in newspaper business and in the press, but right now she actually wants to quit and wants to get married and be settled and have children and like that. And she has divorced one of the top like managers in the newspaper that she works for. So
Exactly.
So
Like she was the pretty girl, came to work. She was also good at her job. So she got the top guy to like date her. They got
And
married.
married
Yeah.
her.
But then she realized, okay, I hate this life. He's just always working.
Yeah,
She
and-
divorced him.
and he's manipulative
That's
and
true.
all that. So
Because even in my culture, like if you're divorced as a woman, it's kind of like just a really bad thing looked upon like, oh my God, this woman, she ruined her life, blah, blah, blah. But then here we are in 1940.
40s.
Yeah. And they have a story with a woman divorcing and then she comes back. She's like funny. She's constantly happy.
Every man is just accepting her, and the husband is even so cool with everything. What the hell?
Yes. So I wanted to show how kind of like creative the writers were, just like in terms of every single line. What they talk about is like things that I wouldn't come up with, but they created such like vivid characters that immediately you know what these people are about.
True, yes.
With like a few lines.
I mean, in the first 5 minutes, you just get the idea of what the story is about.
Exactly.
Like, what the characters are at least like.
That's the goal of like any good script is that in the first like 5 to 10 pages you kind of like understand what they want and like what they're gonna do to get it and everything like so quickly. It's so fast paced. That's another thing. So it's like back to back dialogue. Like okay, when you watch it, it's like a million miles a minute. It's like the script is in the version I have is 200 pages, which is I feel like it's a little like if you search up maybe it'll be less. But even 200 is insane because like normally scripts are like 100, 120 pages even 90 pages
90,
sometimes.
you
Mhm.
said, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna role play the.
Oh yeah, we are gonna rope. Well, you are gonna say it with the accent. I'll try.
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, more context. So right now we're gonna start. I chose like a couple pages from different parts of the script.
Mhm.
First, we're gonna start with the beginning, just to get introduced to the characters,
Right.
how they talk, what they want,
Yes.
stuff like that. So you play Hildy. That's the woman, main
Mhm.
character.
Maisie.
Maisie is like a typer.
In
What's it called?
the
Secretary.
newspaper. Yeah, a secretary.
Mhm.
Perfect. Hildy approaches the switchboard. Hello, Maisie. The first operator looks up.
Hello, Hildy. You coming back?
No, just visiting. Tell me, is the Lord of the Universe in today?
He is, and in a very bad mood. I think somebody stole one of his crown jewels. Shall I announce you?
No, never mind. I'll blow my own trumpet. Hildy turns to Bruce. Bruce is the fiance. Okay. I won't be more than 10 minutes, I promise you.
Even 10 minutes is a long time to be away from you.
Okay.
So, this first page, I chose it because we're introduced to both the main characters, even though one of them isn't even in yet. So,
Right.
the other main character is the Lord of the Universe, right? That's Mr. Burns,
I know.
the previous husband.
Like, see how brilliant the writing is?
Mm-hmm.
The Lord of the Universe, you get the idea of what the character that
Yeah.
we're going to meet
How he
is
sees
like,
himself and how he treats people.
and how
is-
others see them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, in the very first scene, we see, like, another woman working at this newspaper place
Mhm.
and how, like, she acts. She's just kind of like, kind of happy, but, like,
Right.
stressed out. Like, should I announce you? He's in a bad mood, whatever, stuff like that. And then we also see Bruce, like, we see the other husband and how he treats her,
Yes.
right? Who is like, even 10 minutes is a long time to be. So he's a romantic type.
Mm-hmm. And if we have like the next line of Hildy, we're gonna know that she really likes it. She's
Exactly.
surprised. It's like really new to her.
Yeah,
so.
she's like, do it again. I love it.
Yeah.
And okay, now we're gonna go to Hildy talking to the toxic guy, Mr. Burns, Lord of
Walter.
the Universe. Walter. Okay.
Walter Burns, the ex-husband.
So in the meantime, like, imagine nobody even in the audience knows that these two have been married, right? Because we don't know. Like, we're following the story.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like everyone watching, but so immediately you find out their whole backstory.
right.
Okay.
So Walter Burns.
How long is it?
Hildy finishes lighting her cigarette, takes a puff, and fans out the match. How long is what?
You know what? How long since we've seen each other?
Let's see. I was in Reno 6 weeks. Then Bermuda, about 4 months, I guess. Seems like yesterday to me.
Maybe it was yesterday. Been seeing me in your dreams?
No, Mama doesn't dream about you no more, Walter. You wouldn't know the old girl now.
Oh, yes, I would. I'd know you anytime. Any play. Oh, sorry. Yeah, read.
He sings, huh?
He grows lyrical and, rising from his seat, is about to start towards her as he continues. Any place, anywhere.
You're repeating yourself. That's the speech you made the night you proposed. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
I notice you still remember it.
I'll always remember it. If I hadn't remembered it, I wouldn't have divorced you.
You know, Hildy, I sort of wish you hadn't done it.
Done what?
Divorced me. It sort of makes a fellow lose faith in himself. It almost gives him a feeling he wasn't wanted.
Holy moly. Look, Walter, that's what divorces are for. So
What do you even say to that? It's just so
I
romantic.
love the banter.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
true.
good. Just the exchanges are just amazing.
It's just like so witty. Like, I feel like no one in real life talks like this,
No.
and that's why I appreciate movies.
Yeah.
They just show the best type of conversation.
That's true.
Right?
yeah.
Like, you would wish if somebody says it seems like yesterday, you wish you would say, "Oh, you've been seeing me in your dreams." That's a perfect line.
Yeah.
So-
Nobody says that. No,
Right?
nobody talks like that. So
I know. Like, okay, and here's how like romantic and like manipulative he is.
Uh-huh.
She's like, "Oh, you wouldn't know the old girl," meaning like, I'm changed a lot. I've
Right.
changed. I'm not like gonna fall for you anymore. But then he says, oh, I'd know you anytime. And then starts going into a song that he made, like he said for her while they were getting married. So slick.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's just this kind of manipulative psychological wizard.
Right. Like, okay, try to imagine this in real life is like you divorce your husband. You're going to meet him just to say like, like I just want you to know I'm getting married. I just want you to know, like, because we were together.
I'm quitting because he's also the boss. So.
Exactly. And then immediately, like 2 lines in, he starts talking about when you two were married and like singing to you. Like, how can you not fall for this guy? He's insane. Right? So well written. What the fuck? And then also the actors did a crazy job with it too, but we'll get back into that after. So this is another little section. So in the same conversation that they have.
Oh, okay.
Is the end of it where...
The same scene, right?
The same scene, just a few pages down, where it's like, finally, like, their whole story comes out, and we find out what the movie is going to be about, which is, like, is she going to stay with him and with this job, or is she going to choose the married life with a calmer person?
Let's see. Okay. Walter Burns, go ahead.
You've had a better offer, eh?
You bet I've got a better offer.
Well, go on and take it. Work for somebody else. That's the gratitude I get for.
I know, Walter, but
What were you when you came here 5 years ago? A little college girl from a school of journalism. I took a little doll-faced mug.
You wouldn't have taken me if I hadn't been a doll-face. I hadn't been doll-faced.
Why should I? I thought it would be a novelty to have a face around here a man could look at without shuddering.
Listen, Walter.
I made a great reporter out of you, Hildy, but you won't be half as good on any other paper, and you know it. You need me, and I need you. The paper needs both of us.
Well, the paper will have to learn to do without me, and so will you. It just didn't work out, Walter.
Very good. Okay, so 3 lines here. The paper will have to learn to do without me.
Right.
So will you. It just didn't work out. So now you want to find out, like, why didn't it work out? Right. Please try again. And then by the end of the movie, we'll see. No. We'll see.
Yeah, don't spoil.
And we'll see if it'll work out or not, because he's pretty toxic.
Right.
So you see how perfectly these lines are written, right? They're just like the writers, 3 writers wrote this, by the way, all like working together. Every line is just written for a reason. It's like perfectly funny and it makes sense, right? So you'd be like, they probably just filmed this and, you know, called it a day. Yeah. They filmed it exactly. Because even it has, like, really good directions. Like, for example, it's, like, a helpless look back at Hildy. Like, all these, like, it's very visual. Like, you could see exactly how the movie would go.
That's true.
But if you watch the movie and then read the script at the same time, you'll see, like, how different actually they are. Like, not even just line by line, but, like, whole sections.
Right.
It's almost as if the actors read this and then took it as inspiration and just started blurting out like their own versions of it.
That's true.
That's why it feels so fresh. Like some writers and directors are really precious with their words. They're like, okay, you didn't say this by, like you said, purchase. That's not good. I had a rhythm going. You have to use my words. But then for Howard Hawks, like he let the actors go free.
Really?
Just say whatever came naturally to them.
That's amazing.
I know. And the thing is, the script is so good. Like, I don't think it needed it.
It doesn't need, any alteration or anything. The characters are very similar. Like, it's like Hildy is the female version of Bruce.
Right.
Bruce or?
Bruce.
Burns.
Oh, sorry, Burns.
Walter, the ex-husband. It's just amazing how similar they are. She can tell what his next move is.
Exactly. Yeah. They show that many times in the story where he's like, he's a step ahead of her, she's a step ahead of him.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But at the same time, they have their like urges totally. Like the woman is still very much like, I would love a house, I would love kids, comfort, even though she still is like just as smart and like capable as
even
Burns.
More than
right?
Yeah, as Burns and more than other guys that are there. So.
Easy. So they make a good couple if they do get back together.
Two toxic couple, I love it. Yeah.
Oh my god,
they're so good together. Like I said before, they kind of resemble the Great series. Catherine the Great. So
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you have
See,
to.
Now you're gonna be like, well, you just said you never watched, so I'll write it down here right now.
Sure,
the Great series.
They're exactly like that, especially from the second season on. I haven't seen the third season, but they're exactly that. Two toxic couple that just go back and forth together, on and off relationship, just like that. And they're so toxic. Like, imagine.
Is it the king and queen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's juicy.
so good. I mean, she takes over the kingdom. Yeah, tries to kill him. He tries to kill her, but then again, they're together.
Is this based on a true story or no?
It is based on a true story, but the series is kind of
Fictionalized.
So.
Right, got you. So that's my recommendation for the week. It's just so nice. Like, give it a watch. If you don't want to read it, just give it a watch. It's so fun. So fun.
It's on YouTube too. So
it's on YouTube, but yeah, it's available everywhere.
Perfect. So now I want to give my recommendation for good writing, an example of good writing that kind of like shows the whole setting of the story from the first chapter. So the book is 1984 by George Orwell. Classic. Yeah. I love him. It's just amazing. I love these kind of stories that he builds and the settings and the worlds that he actually builds that are actually very timeless, you know, in a sense. And just speak for every totalitarian society. So we start this story with the main character, Smith, I believe, that actually walks into his building. And from the first moments, you get the sense of like this gloomy and cold, really pessimistic setting and mood, even.
Do you remember what he was doing, like, very first scene? Like, he was probably trying to do something.
He was walking in the building and...
That's where he was working? Is that true?
No, he came back from work. So he was going into his apartment.
Oh, okay, I see.
So, yeah. He was walking into his apartment and in the salon, I think the lobby, he realized that the escalator, I think, or elevator is not working. So because of the hate week, they're preparing for the hate week. That's a new term that you get introduced to in the first page. They want to save energy and electricity for the hate week.
Wow. I love that. That's a great way to introduce a character because, like, first of all, it comes off that he was coming from work, so he's, like, tired and, like, he's being himself. He's not hiding anything. You're seeing where he lives. That's a great way to show what a character is like.
That's true.
And you're also seeing, like, his environment of, like, okay, here's a broken elevator. Why is it broken? You're seeing all these things about his world.
Right.
Immediately, you kind of, like, relate to him as a person.
That's
you
true.
know? So that's
you
amazing.
relate, and also you see that everything is just not working. Like everything, something is wrong with everything. Like the elevator is wrong, and the weather is bad, and everything is just so pessimistic, so like negative. And then you get introduced to the term hate week. They're saving energy for the hate week. What is hate week? What are they gonna do? And for somebody new to this kind of like societies or these kind of worlds, they may not understand what like hate week is, but when you come from actually like a totalitarian kind of society like Iran, as we do come from, it's just, you understand that very well. I mean, I remember I was in school and they would have like these days, these specific days that they would actually like chant against other countries and things like that. It was crazy.
Specific days, more like every morning for us. It was like
Right.
death to America.
Oh my goodness.
Like little kids
They
are
would
forced to do
they would
this.
brainwash kids.
Yeah.
Like these are real stuff. These are not like some fantasy that he wrote about or like some extreme things. These things actually are going on right now.
Yeah, at
in
least like
parts of the
9
world.
years ago while I was there, it was going on. So I hope they changed, but I don't think so.
Oh my goodness, no.
No?
It's even worse now. That's
crazy.
With the Iranian like revolutions that happened recently, like these kind of changes and all that. So they're more even extreme in schools and all this stuff. There's actually these like 10 days, specific 10 days in winter in Iran that is like dedicated to the new kind of regime. Yeah, the new regime. So they actually chant against like the old king and they say everything that they want to that. So It is hate week. Exactly.
Hate week.
Plus
You're right.
hate week plus 3 more days. So
Ah,
that's
did he
right,
write
yeah.
this in 1984? Or is that just the name?
No,
He
actually.
wrote it way
Yeah,
earlier, right?
I think he wrote it at a time that it was like a future kind of date. So
Right.
it was like very futuristic. I don't remember when.
So
Actually.
he kind of like I don't know either. I wish we had
Yeah.
somebody to search it up for us.
Right.
But I'll say either way, he thought this is the future and that's what he spoke about. And he's 100% right. You know, Big Brother's watching, like now we're all under surveillance 100% of the time.
true.
So he got that right totally.
Exactly. And
Even
even
for
more.
this country.
And
Yeah.
even more because we have these like telescreens, as he says, like all the time with us. So the mobile phones that we have, it's even like worse than what he thought or kind of like wrote about. That's the thing. I feel like democracy and kind of this freedom that we have is so delicate, and it didn't just come by really easily, you know. It took years and years and lots of sacrifices so we could get this kind of freedom right now in this part of the world at this time. So we're really lucky, and we have to preserve it. I mean, it's always, these kind of free societies are always in danger of being attacked by totalitarian and conservative, kind of like conservative in the sense that they try to restrict people. Like an Iranian regime is exactly like that. They're extremely conservative, so they try to make everybody think the same way as them and act a certain way according to like the religious kind of beliefs that they have. So
that's fair, but I wonder, like a country like Canada, how could they fall prey to that? Because people are all educated. They have like access to media.
No. Actually, the educated people actually are the worst, because when you're more educated, you kind of like distance yourself from the political world. You see, most of like these people that are actually like educated, but what standard society is, they actually like don't care about any of this stuff. They just want to live their lives and think that everything will be great if they just don't vote or they don't do anything, care about their political system. They think that they shouldn't care about politics. You see, a lot of people say that I don't care about politics.
Right.
Oh, you should care about politics.
But why? Why should you care?
Because this kind of world, this freedom didn't come easily. It can just go away really fast. Like even right now, we're in danger. Like if you don't care about this stuff, democracy is always in danger of being like dominated by people that want to take absolute control, you know?
Right. But if people are like, I don't care, then that means they're not going to also listen to whoever's forcing them to do things, right?
No. Well, they have to, right? I mean, if you are in a system that is like that.
Yeah, I guess this is like the big joke that's like communism is lurking. Make sure it's not coming towards you.
I mean, it's like if you like read history or something, I haven't like, I'm not really good at that or don't know much about history. But the little that I know that even right now countries like Iran and like lots of these countries that are in Middle East, they're still fighting for that freedom. It's not easy to come by. Even in Europe, you know how many years it took? So finally now we have like some country, new country like America that is like free like this.
You're right.
It took a long time, and it can just go by like that.
Don't take it for granted.
That's right.
Go vote. This applies to me too. I have to research about this mayor.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care like about politics right now, but I feel like when you have just grown up in a country that is always like your everyday actions, your everyday decisions are very directed towards like the system that you live in, you know, like your lifestyle is totally woven with the political system, and every day is about that. So you kind of like have no choice but to care about politics, learn about it.
That's true.
And that's why like I love George Orwell, because he just tells the truth, and it's exactly because I have lived in that society, and you have as well, and the other 80 million people that live in Iran. So or North Korea is even worse.
So
That's
many
like
other
the,
countries.
exactly the picture of the book. So
Wow.
Right.
Messed up.
and this book, I think it has a good writing because of the fact that in the first chapter you just get the idea of what the mood is like, and the things that you get introduced to repeat themselves throughout the book and story, and as well as the fact that well, one thing I like is that you don't get the definition of every new word. It's like you're welcome to this world and you're not a stranger. It's like we expect you to know
this
about this stuff. Yeah, so that was cool. Sometimes he does introduce and kind of like define some terms, some new terms, like what was it, like the Ministry of
Thought
Truth,
police,
Thought
right.
police, yes, exactly. So he does define those things, but it's because you're seeing it through the main character's kind of thoughts. I want to define everything. Like, that's bad. That's so bad. You have to go naturally and organically. It doesn't feel really organic if you just describe everything all the time.
That's what I'm struggling with right now too, as I'm like editing this documentary, because like all I want to do is like kind of tell the story as I remember it, and then I show people and they're like, well, no one's gonna know what this is about because we were there and we know. So now I'm kind of struggling with the opposite, where I'm like, I don't want to explain anything, but also you have to find the balance of like, how do you keep them still kind of like not confused?
That's true.
I don't know.
It's a fine line. You have to kind of.
Because like those are my relatives. Like I know who this is. I know who that is. It's fine if it cuts back and forth. But maybe somebody who has no knowledge will be like, well, these two look like the same person, so now I'm confused. You know? So there's all that.
That's true. Yeah, Maral is working on a documentary from her visit to Iran.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
It's coming together
The
slowly.
new project.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'm very proud.
Yeah. I am proud of you too. It was just amazing. It's just so beautiful.
Just amazing. No.
Yeah.
But maybe one day it will be.
No. I love the shots and everything. Like it was so natural. And just tells the essence of living in that kind of situation, that city.
That would be the dream if that happens. So that would be
sure.
good.
No,
like the thing is, we kind of live through the week, and then things that come about that intrigue us, we talk about. Yeah. Oh, also for the first time this week, I went rock climbing.
You did?
So fun.
Is it?
Have you ever been?
No, but one of my friends did, and she just recommended me to go
there. My god, first of all, okay, my arms are really sore, like I can barely move. All of these muscles were used, right?
My goodness.
But it was so like motivating. Okay, I'll say this thing quickly. So when you're climbing, all you can think about is like, okay, at this point, like there's no other rocks I can reach, like how do I get further up? And all you're thinking is like, okay, that's it, I'm slipping, I'm tired, I want to come down. Like these are your thoughts, right? But some guy was helping us. And he was so motivating. He's like, okay, you can do it, keep going, try harder, I'm proud of you, and all that. And every time he said that, I would like find another rock to go up higher, and then like 3 seconds later my brain would come back like, okay, there's no other rock, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck. And it was so crazy how what you say to yourself is 100% related to your how much power you put into what you're doing. And like,
for sure,
right?
Yeah.
So fun.
Exactly. The same thing I realized when I was working out with a friend.
Yeah.
And she's like a professional in like working out and stuff. She has the best body. Like she's been working out for years now. And I realized that I would always limit myself like to a certain weight and kind of like not push myself as much.
And you push yourself a lot as well, so I'm surprised. Like,
no, that happened after I met her. So yeah, I was like, before I would just take the 10 pounds and do like 8 reps, something like that. And I would say, I'm a beginner, you know, I have limits, I shouldn't really pressure myself. But she just pushed me, you know, she's just like, you can do it. No, you can do it. You can get more, like, get more weight. You can do that. And I can actually do it. And I was like, oh my God, what is my limit? I have no limits, it seems like. It's like, the sky is my limit. I didn't know that. Like, that was crazy to me.
But at the same time, there are some limits, though.
There are, yeah. There are limits, but, like, I could push myself so much more. But I didn't because I
Right.
kind of like always would tell myself that I can't do that. No.
That's so true. What a good point to
Yeah.
like just know in life.
Right.
I opened one of these like fortune cookies, and in it was like good thoughts make life better and stuff. And I was like, that's so accurate. Thank you,
Yeah.
fortune cookie. Like just have positive thoughts and you'll do better than if
That's
you're just
true.
constantly even putting yourself down. You should be the last person who puts yourself down, right? Because like
That's
everyone else already does that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's why it's good that, like, if you want to do something, it's better be with a friend or someone so they can push you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even when we're doing the podcast together, I know that we're going to commit because it's both of us.
Exactly.
And we're going to just learn so much faster because she learns something, she's going to tell me, I learn something, I'm going to tell her. So it's going to take less time. And it's gonna take like more commitment. So
yeah, more commitment. Exactly. Like how embarrassing would it be if one of us was like, "Sorry, I can't make it."
right.
So then we do it. Also, we're gonna write right after this. We're gonna go sit somewhere and write.
Yes.
So that again is gonna help. I feel like doing it together.
We want to write a script. If we have some ideas, we're
Yeah.
gonna write that and kind of like
Yeah,
some-
maybe we'll share it next week. Let's see.
yeah. That oh,
Just
my
the
goodness.
idea.
Yeah, sure.
Just the idea.
Probably yeah.
All right. So, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. We love you.
Oh yes, we do love you. Thank you so
Heart.
much for listening. I really, really appreciate your time and the fact that you're with us.
And good times. Watch His Girl Friday. Read 1984. Get inspired.
Yeah.
Write your own script. Read our script. Listen to the Beatles.
That's
Start your own podcast. Do whatever you want. There's no limit.
Exactly. That's right. That's true. And please, if you like this, follow us so we can go on this journey together. Follow our podcast, our journey, and
Subscribe.
subscribe.
There's
to
going to
our
be a
channel.
TikTok. There's going to be an Instagram.
There's gonna be YouTube.
We'll be busy.
Yes.
Busy
please
ladies.
support us.
Support.
Please.
All right.
Thank
Amazing.
you so much.
Thank you. See you next week.
I love you guys.
Love
Bye
you.
bye.
Date me. Bye.